What's going on YouTube? My name is Alex. I am with AJ Consults, and in these videos, I'm going to go over step by step how I am documenting my process to starting my automation business. There's a lot of people who are in need of automations and trying to get their business scaled. So using things like AI, but really just automating the follow-up process. And I wanted to document this entire process from day one all the way through day 60 of this new plan that I'm trying to get going. So again, this is going to be something that's going to be a little bit more raw, unedited for the most part. I might do some edits as I go along and as I start learning new things in my content journey, but I wanted to be able to just, again, focus more on the content in itself and what I'm showing, my process, how I go about stuff, and then also making sure that you can follow along in the process and do the same thing for yourself. There's nothing in this video or in these videos that I'll be doing that you can't really actually do for yourself. A lot of this stuff all this stuff I was actually self-taught, just researching, doing a lot of research, going to a lot of people's YouTube pages and seeing what worked for them, what doesn't work for them, and also joining some of their schools. And I'm going to talk about a lot of that later in these videos. But for the most part, who am I? Why does any of this matter? And what is it going to do for you? My name is Alex. I go by AJ. And so I am I guess you could say a social media influencer. Basically, I use AI to help me create a plan to start to come up with the content that I would need for, I think it was like 60 or 90 days or something like that. And I was trying to grow my Instagram to 100,000 followers over the next, it might have been 30 days, one of the two. And so I didn't make that goal until probably day like 40 something or 45. I gave up on it for a little bit because I had like stuff going on in life. And so I ended up hitting 40,000. I think the highest I hit was 43,000 followers. I went from 1,000 followers to 43,000, just following the advice that AI gave. So I wanted to do that again for my business to try to grow it from making no money all the way up to the point where I'm making at least $20,000 a month. So I don't know if that would help you out in your situation, but I know it would help me out in my situation. So again, my name is Alex, and I go by AJ. And what this means to you is hopefully that, as you're watching these videos and watching these series, you start getting some ideas of how you can do this stuff for yourself and grow it. And you might be able to find ways to improve it and do a lot better than what I did. So if you can have the same basis where I'm starting off and slowly grow, then that's all the more the better. So what we'll do is we'll go over all the tools that I use, everything that my process has. There are some things I'm going to skip. You'll have to join my school. I'll put the link down in the description below. But you'll have to join my school to get like the full access of everything. This is just a landing point to show you, what's possible. And then as you start joining my school, and Skool is a new platform. Skool is like Kajabi or Discord or, just a group where people can meet, go over ideas, discuss different things, and really just start to grow that way. So, I'll have all this stuff in my school, and I'll really start answering those questions. You can ask me like questions one-on-one. You can DM me. You can join the live Q&As to really just ask those questions about how I did certain things. And I'm a pretty much open book about how I got to where I'm at or the things that I use, whether it's books, podcasts, or, other people's schools. I don't mind sharing that with you because, again, this is for you to grow your business. So without further ado, what I'm going to show you real quick is something that I've been working on. This is my entire process. As you can see, it is a workflow. And what I'm using is a platform called Miro, Miro. This is, I think, the free version. Well, no, I just upgraded it because I needed some more boards. But you get 3 boards for free. So 3 of these boards, but you can zoom out and as far as you need. So you have a ton of space to work in one board. So if you're, the money's tight, then you can just go ahead and get started with that. So as you can see, this is my process when a lead comes in, lead generation. We're either getting them from Facebook, Google, or referral requests. And it starts going down into this process. And as you can see, I start really just spending time here to get this going, and all the way down to the point where I'm starting to upsell and asking for referral requests. And that referral request, if you follow this line that goes off to the side, comes all the way back up here to lead generation. So my hope is that I'm creating a closed loop system. And as you can see, it is there, like this closed loop. So it just keeps working so that when I leave, if I want to go on vacation, if I want to go travel, doesn't matter. This is going to work with or without me. And it's also going to work with or without me being physically present in, let's say, my state, or if I go across country or wherever. As long as I have an internet connection, that's the most important part, to be able to run this business. And for you, same thing. You'll be able to have the time flexibility, the location freedom. That's the ultimate goal, is to have those freedoms to be able to do what it is, what you want, when you want, how you want, and where you want. So as I started developing this, and then again, I'll show you exactly how I did this. And I may end up even tweaking this a lot more. I might even end up scrapping the entire thing and starting all over again. I don't know. But as these videos go on, I'll just kind of explain my thought process behind it. Over here, as you can see, I have my offer and guarantees and objections. So I really took the time out to go through each one of these. And the book that I used was $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi, to start coming up with this stuff. So as you can see, this is my offer, right? These are some problems that people may have. Their onboarding implementation. The setup process will be too complex, too time consuming. Won't be able to get it up and running quickly. I'm worried about the automation now integrating seamlessly. I don't have technical experience. So these are real world scenarios where people are actually thinking about. These are things that people like, hey, if I join your, like, try to do your business, these are real things that I'm worried about or concerned about. And then these are the solutions that I'm offering. So how to get your retirement income planning automation up and running in 30 days or less with minimal disruption to your existing workflows. Again, Alex Hormozi's book was amazing, to help me come up with this stuff. So one of the things that I'm doing is offering one-on-one support. We got dedicated onboarding specialists, Zoom calls, ongoing email and phone support for the first 30 days. We actually do services for them, or with them, and then for them, as well as ongoing support. And then we go into the second problem, concerns about data privacy and security, stuff like that. So this is my specific niche. So your niche may be a barbershop, your niche may be, whatever else that you decide to get into. For me, I wanted to find something that was growing, something that was a little bit more stable, and the customer or the ideal client has the ability to pay that amount that I'm asking for. For me, that was financial planners. And I'll kind of dive into that a little bit more deeper. So over here, we are in phase 2, which is creating the offer. So again, going through the problems and making sure I keep the name, renaming it, your retirement automation onboarding system that gets you up and running in 30 days or less. This is just about $2,000 a month value. Why? Because what we're doing is creating the entire process for them. We're creating this map for them, right? Right here, we're going to create this entire process for them. And most people don't even have their own process written down. Most people don't have the business plan written down. Most people don't have anything really written down. They're just kind of going about it and saying, okay, I'm going to just wing it. And as things develop and as I get more clients, then I'll go ahead and do that. But by the time they start getting more clients, what happens is they're more busier into the weed of things instead of like actually mapping out a process and creating a business where it's something where they can step away. Granted, they might hire somebody to say, hey, here's my process, just kind of like watch over my shoulder and I'll show you this entire process. And you kind of go about it from there. But imagine the value that somebody would get if you're able to say, hey, I'm gonna come in and develop or create this entire process and just map it out and say, hey, here's your beginning, here's your middle, here's your ending, here's how you started back all over again without you having to be there. Think about the value somebody would get to be able to know that it's a little bit more peace of mind to say and to see that. So that's why we're offering it. And it's valued at $2,000 a month. There's no real way to say like it's not $2,000 or it is $2,000 a month. That's just a number I just kind of made up. And I'll show you how I did that as well. The problem 2, the unbreakable vault, your automated system that earns clients trust by safeguarding their sensitive information, $2,500 a month value. Again, we're showing them how they can start safeguarding or making sure that their data is protected, which is huge. So all in all, I go through each problem. As you can see, each one has a monthly value to it. All of this comes down to about $15,587 a month, all for only $19.97 a month or $18.97 for an annual subscription. This is what's called value stacking, right? In value stacking, there's no real way to really say that is or is not worth that value. The value is whatever somebody says it's worth. If I try to sell you this Sharpie right here, and I say that this is just another Sharpie, you can just go ahead and buy it for $500, you're probably not going to buy it. You're like, no, I'm not about to buy that because it's a Sharpie. I can go buy a whole pack of them for $5 at Staples or something like that, or Walmart. But if I come to you and say, hey, look, you know, this is a one of a kind, like just dedicated for you, that this is going to solve a lot of your problems, and really just start adding the value into your mind of like, how does this solve your problems? Okay, you have a lot of documents that you're doing in black, but you need the important stuff highlighted in a different color. You need this, you need that, right? And over time, as I start attacking those pain points, right, which is these problems that I'm going over, I'm attacking these pain points to show, hey, here's how we're going to do a detailed cost benefit analysis for you to show the long-term efficiency gains and revenue opportunities. These are a lot of big words, but I didn't create them all by myself. I use something called perplexing. I'll show you that in just a sec. But if I can start attacking those pain points, and you're like, man, I would pay anything to get this problem solved, that's when someone's going to start saying, well, I may not be able to pay you $500 for this, but I'll pay you $100. Just so I can get it over with. $100 is still better than the $5 you originally planned for. And to kind of really go into that process, or thought process a little bit more, it's like, I don't know if it was in Alex Hormozi's book, but it was the idea of using like ibuprofen or Advil or something like that, right? And what happens is you get a headache, and you're like, the person gets a headache, and then throughout the day, it's just gradual. It's not something like it's boom, you have a headache. It is something where it's like, hey, or it's like something where it's like, feeling a little annoyed, feeling a little pressure, feeling a little whatever. And as the day goes on, it's like it's more and more and more. And then it starts throbbing. You're just like, oh my goodness, like what is going on? And then before you know it, your day is you're just annoyed with everything. All right, that person's annoyed with everything because it's just so much going on. And they just like, I don't know. I know the problem, but it's just like it's a headache, right? Literally. And if you came at the right opportunity and you say, hey, I have some Advil right here. Like this will take the pain away in 30 seconds or 30 minutes, and you'll be done. You can go on, live your life, and you'll be good to go. What would that person's reaction be? And it's, of course, please, thank you, anything. I'll take anything. I just need it bad. Okay, cool. Like, here it is. That's what we're aiming for. Through the course, like through the entirety of this course, that is the purpose of this entire like playlist course. I don't know what I'll call it just yet, but our series. But that's the whole purpose of it, is identifying those pain points that someone is really desperately trying to solve, that headache that just keeps coming on and on and on, and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not instant, but it's just things that just keep adding up one on top of the other. And you're identifying all those pain points. And if you're in an industry where those actual pain points, even better, right? Because you know how to tailor it to that. When you can come in there and start offering solutions to somebody and say, hey, I'm not just taking this pain away from you just temporarily. I'm completely solving it so you don't have to do it anymore, or deal with that. Now you start charging a little bit more. And when you start getting super specific to say, hey, I don't just offer a general service. I don't just offer an automation service or a follow-up process, right? I offer a specifically tailored solution to this. Now you go from, let's say, only being able to charge $100, $200 a month for a general follow-up process or automation, where you're just doing the automated text messages, emails, and things like that. That's $100, maybe even $50 a month, because there's just other platforms that already do that. To now specifying and niching down and saying, yo, I create a full-blown automation process for retirement planners. I will create your SOPs. I will create your workflow diagrams, making sure that you have things in place for your automations. I'll help you find more clients as well. It's a full suite. Now it's like, wait a minute, that's very specific towards me and what I have going on. Of course, it's more worth it because as a financial planner, if depending on what it is that they do, one client might be worth, five, $10,000 for them over the course of a year, 2 years, 5 years, however it may be. And so now they can say, well, if I get this thing from this person, i.e., you, if you're able to go to them and say, hey, look, with this automation process, we can now start getting you, 30% more clients and or 40% more clients because you can handle the increased workload. They might be able to get them 80%. And now you can say, hey, look, if each client, as like we were saying, a cost benefit analysis, if each client is to you worth $5,000 over the course of a year, and this subscription or this pay that we're charging is 18 or 19, $20,000, you need 4 clients to break even, right? And now you have an automated process where you don't really have to work. So you get even more value on it because you get all your time back plus the 4 clients plus the revenue, which means now you can start handling more work and delegating more stuff to them, to your virtual assistants. You can show them how to get virtual assistants. So we'll go over all that stuff in here as well. So that's the background that I want to bake into your head, because at the end of the day, without understanding what the background is, it doesn't make sense why you should keep watching this video, why you should keep watching my series, why you should just keep trusting me, because this is your time. This is the most valuable thing that you have in your life because you can't get that back. So I have to try to give as much value to you and background as possible to show you and paint that picture of what is truly possible for you. So let's keep going ahead and going over this. So for me, I want to have a bonus for clients. There are some clients that you're going to come across who everybody loves a bonus. And when you can show them like, hey, these are things that we're addressing, your pain points, boom, 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 boom. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I like that it's still pricey-ish, right? They're not seeing the value in it. If someone's saying that you're priced too high, they're not seeing the value in it. If you go to Louis Vuitton, you're not going to Louis Vuitton. It's like, ooh, that's too high. It's Louis Vuitton. You're just going to pay it because the value is there. People know that. So when we are trying to build out that value to that client, your goal is to say, hey, I'm addressing your pain points, but here's some extra stuff just on top of it. And now people are like, wait, I get that too? Okay, cool. So these are for clients that are on the fence. We're using this to help close the deal. For clients that start service, offer this as a thank you bonus, the Automation Accelerator. This is an implementation bootcamp. Again, value stacking, $1,500 value. Relates to their issue. We're implementing a new automation system that can be for daunting tasks, fraught with technical challenges, workflow disruptions, and steep learning curve. And what is it? How we discovered it, how we will improve their lives. These are the things that we're going to do. We have past clients that we can say, hey, this is something that they went through, and we just kind of put a name to that as well. So now here's how we're painting a vivid mental image. Imagine the confidence of knowing that your transition to a fully automated retirement planning system will be smooth, seamless, stress-free. With this implementation bootcamp, you'll have a team of experts guiding you every step of the way, ensuring your team is fully trained, your workflow is optimized, and your clients experience a seamless transition to the new system. Picture yourself sailing through the implementation process with a clear roadmap and personalized support, emerging on the other side with a streamlined, efficient, automated system that propels your practice to new heights. Again, this is not something where it is set in stone. As I start going through this course, as I start going through the series, again, I don't know what I'll call it. This is something that could change. This is something that could be made better. You might have a different way of wording it that might be even better. Again, I'll show you how I did that. And here's the 3-week bonus implementation guide. So again, having this process written down so that way when you start hiring out and you get maybe somebody to manage your project, somebody like a project manager or a virtual assistant to help you do that, when they can come and see your entire process and you're like, hey, these are the things we're trying to do, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and through 10, here's how we're going about it. Here's why it's important, right? Because each one you can see what is it, how is it discovered, and the importance of all this stuff. And you have it all written down. And over time, we'll start cleaning this up a little bit more. It's just kind of all over the place right now, but we'll start cleaning this up. Um, when you have all this stuff and you can show somebody, now it's like, okay, cool, this is a little bit better. Let's get to the next step. So next step is guarantees. So again, there's going to be people who are on the fence about exactly what it is that they're doing. This is a lot of money that we're asking for, and we have to understand that this person that you're trying to sell your service to, well, it doesn't have to be $2,000 a month. It could be $500 a month. It could be $2,500 a month. Low ticket, high ticket. It could be whatever. What you have to understand is that depending on your client, if they do not or have the ability to fully pay that, it's going to be a lot harder. So this is why a lot of people try to have courses and things like that for a lower cost, because more people can get into it. But you have to also understand that people may or may not value it as much. For me, I have my course. It's probably going to be $49 or $50 a month. Something that most people can go ahead and get, but over time it'll start growing up. So that's one strategy. But with that, you have some people again who are on the fence. And yes, you can address every pain point. Okay, cool, whatever. Yes, you can offer a bonus, right? It's like, all right, cool, that's good, but I'm still concerned because I either don't trust you, don't know you, don't trust the services, or don't trust myself. So you gotta put yourself in that kind of lens. People are around one of those four things. So now we're going to start adding some guarantees in there. So for me, the guarantees I came up with, the scalability safeguard: if you don't experience seamless scalability to accommodate your growing client base within the first 12 months, we'll provide you with an additional year of service at no extra cost, ensuring your automation system can help with your success. If you don't make it within the first 12 months of spending your hard-earned money, we'll give you an additional year for free. And now that kind of is like, okay, that's not bad. But that's assuming that I can make it 12 months. So if somebody's going to start putting a picture in their head, it's like, I don't know if I would want to pay $24,000 over the course of a year and to hope that, it works. Let's go on. Effortless expansion promise. Implement our proven client acquisition strategies. And if you don't see at least a 30% increase in new client acquisition within the first 6 months, we'll not only refund the entire cost of the blueprint, but also provide you with a complimentary 6-month coaching program to optimize your efforts. So now we're taking that year time frame, we're dividing it in two. So now we're just like, wait a minute, okay, so now it's 6 months instead of 12 months, where if I don't get 30% increase in 6 months, I'll get another 6 months for free. And if over the course of a year I don't get that and I'm not satisfied, then I get another whole year for free. So I'm getting 24 possible months, and I really only have to pay 6 months. So I'm only paying for a quarter of the time. So now it's like, that's a lot better, and I get my money back. It's a lot better. So let's go into the next one. So the prosperity pledge: if you don't achieve a positive ROI within the first 6 months of implementing our process, we'll refund your entire investment and provide you with an additional 6 months of dedicated support and guidance to ensure you realize the full benefits of automation. So again, it's kind of the same thing, and just adding extra words in there. But you never know who needs that extra push, that last, like, all right, just give me one last thing, and if I get that, then all right, cool, I'll do it. So some people may need this upfront. Some people may not need it upfront and may just like, all right, I just need my problem solved. Wherever they're at on that spectrum, that's where we're trying to get them at. And we're trying to make sure that we fully attack their pain points. We fully attack their questions, and each question that you get that is different from what you have written down, you include that in there and start creating that. So let's get over to the fun stuff. I've talked about this enough. I showed you the process, and then these are just some headlines for the ads that I had. But let's go over here. All right. So in my business is called Optimize, right? Optimize Solutions, as you can see up here in the top left. That's my process. And so some of the tools that we're going to be using is one called Perplexity AI. there is ChatGPT. I use both ChatGPT and Perplexity. The reason I like Perplexity over ChatGPT is because this one will actually provide you with the sources that it's using. So if it's pulling from an article or a blog post from like last week, it is pretty up to date. There's times where I seen it was pulling information from a Reddit thread. I'm like, that's different. But at least I get to see where it's pulling from. And if I want to go read into it a little bit further, cool. It also remembers a little bit better. There's times where, or reason in between the lines a little bit better. So there's been times where I was typing something out, accidentally forgot to include something, and it was like, no, I got you. And it just kind of finished it out. I was like, all right, I didn't know where you're going with this, and it finished it out. And I was like, oh, this is incredible. Now ChatGPT, I like that for its purpose because you can use custom GPTs. And what a custom GPT is something that is specifically tailored for a specific action, right? So as you can see over here, I have threads, right? If I would show you all of them, I'm not going to, but each thread is its own specific thing, right? So I might have a thread for Optimize. I might have a thread for my Turo business. I might have a thread for my Airbnb business. That is the only thing that I want them focused on, right? It's like putting blinders up here, and I don't want you looking at anything else outside of the internet. I just want you to focus on this specific thing. So a custom GPT is like that, is specifically focused on that. Somebody had wrote up some instructions and said, hey, provide your goal is here. Your goal is this thing. This is all you know, this circle. And within that circle, I want you to provide answers using this format, these resources, doing this thing, and whatever else it is that they may train that AI on. And so you can use that, take that, and then use it for your own benefit. So there's some, like one I was going through yesterday, which is like Zapier GPT, where its only job, if you don't know what Zapier is how you integrate or connect different platforms or different websites and stuff like that. So you might be able to, for example, you can integrate ChatGPT and Google Sheets, right? So ChatGPT speaks its own language. Google Sheets speaks its own language. Speaks Google, speaks ChatGPT. You need a middleman to say, hey, I'm going to translate for the both of you so that both of you can talk. That's what Zapier does. So if ChatGPT says, hey, every time, what can happen is you can have Google Sheets. Anytime that, like, let's say that something pops up in one of the rows or columns or anything else like that, it then goes over to ChatGPT through Zapier, and Zapier says, hey, Google Sheets said XYZ. ChatGPT, do your thing with this. And if I have a custom GPT and says, anytime that there is a thing that happens or that a new row that pops up, I want you to do XYZ. And then put it back in the second column. So instead of it, anytime there's something in the first column, I want you to read it, take it, create something new, and then put that in the second column. So now it's automatically doing that. The Zapier GPT, I just have to get that background, but Zapier GPT is like, okay, cool. What do you want me to do? Because I can do anything with Zapier. All right, I want you to create me the process and all the integrations for my entire process, right? So then it can say, all right, cool, you're going to need these things, boom, 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 boom. And then it can automatically go ahead and do that. And you can click a link, and now it's automatically set up. So now, instead of it taking you 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long it may take you, now you can have an automated process where it'll do it for you. So I want to give all of that context, because again, without context, a lot of this is not going to make sense. What you're getting into with this series is very deep, very intense, very focused, but it's also going to pay out the most because you're at a point right now. If you're watching this video, today is the 15th of July, 2024. Right there. What you have to realize is we're still in the infancy stages of AI and automations and stuff like this. Automations, it's been around. AI has been around, but together and integrating the both of them to the way that majority of people are starting to realize it and understand, oh, wait a minute, like what's this chat GPT thing? If you can come in and explain it to them, you can make a lot of money, because people, again, have that headache and they're just like, I'm losing money, I'm losing business, I can't keep up, I'm struggling, I'm trying to manage my business, and this whole AI thing is so confusing, and I just need somebody to pay me, or to teach me. I'll pay whatever because I'm losing more money. And if you can come in and say, hey, and not only will I save you that money, but I'll also make you more money, make you more peace of mind, and give you that peace of mind, and save that from me. Now you can start adding on, a lot more. So as I was going through this thread with the Alex Hormozy book, just kind of going through everything, it's picking up and learning what I'm trying to do, right? So now we're at a point where I'm like, okay, got it. Now keep acting as an expert project manager, right? Within Perplexity and ChatGPT, you want to tell it what you want it to do. I want you to act as something to give me X result, right? Who has read this entire thread and is ready to put together a 60-day action plan. So we're going hard. This is day one. We're going hard for the next 60 days. We'll be going from 0 to 20 clients that pay on average $19.97 a month. So on average, we might start having upsells. We might start having downsells. We might have some people coming in for a lesser price. We might start people coming at an even higher price. Understand that what you're doing is designing a CRM system, and most CRM systems are $15,000 at minimum to build out. And that's just to build it out, for them to have the capability, but then they have to learn the process. They have to do everything themselves, and set everything up themselves. So we're saying, pay a little bit extra and we'll do it for you. And we're going to do this like our lives depend on it. Each day needs to move us further along the goal and what needs to be accomplished. Before you provide your response, think about what would make a highly effective and innovative project manager. This part is key, right? And this is something I just learned. The reason we're doing this is because when you have an AI and you're just saying, hey, do this thing, it's going to go do that thing. It may not do it well, depending on how you typed it up. But what we're doing is saying, think about this. So we're allowing it to really expand and try to guess the next word, because these are language models, right? All these AIs that we're looking at, for the most part, are language models. They're just predicting the next best word. So as it's predicting the next best word, if you say, hey, you go ahead and take the reins instead of me telling you exactly being confined to this box, go ahead and open yourself up. So we wanted to think of what would make a highly effective and innovative project manager. Project manager is somebody who is the manager of that project. They're going to guide that process along. They know who to hire. They know what needs to be put in place. They're the ones who's going to design everything. And I have one that I'm actually about to hire myself, because I need to think more like a CEO as opposed to the person who's working like this. Until you get to that point, you are everybody, but you want to get to that point where you're a CEO as fast as possible. And this right here, it's like your assistant, it's like your project manager is whoever you want it to be in. So what also we want them wanted to think about, the type of methodology that we would use if we were using Go High Level. Go High Level is a platform that you can use to automate everything. You can create websites, you can create funnels, backend process. You can buy your phone number, business phone number through there. You can, it's a lot of stuff that you can go over. It would take me forever to go over everything that can go inside Go High Level. But like I said, Go High Level is what I personally use. It's a very clean process, and they have support there as well. So if any of your clients ever ask you a question, you can always go to the Go High Level platform, ask them the question, and now you have experts on your side, and you now look like the expert because you're the one providing the final answer. So this is our main platform to handle these automations. The key milestones that need to be reached. So what are the KPIs that we're trying to attack? How we can scale from just myself and my virtual assistant doing the work to what is needed to handle that client workload in 60 days. So we're going to start with the first 7 days. We'll go each week after that until we hit 60. Again, really think about your answer. Really think your answer through as if your life depended on it. So here's what it popped out. As an expert project manager, I understand the critical nature of the 60-day plan scale from 0 clients to 20 clients. So again, I am in the same position you are at right now as you're watching this video. I have no clients. Well, I have like 2 or 3 clients, but the ones that are paying actual like $2,000 a month, I have 0. So we're in the same boat. I don't have any like prospects that I can say that would be willing to pay $2,000 a month as it is right now. But we're going to work through that, and so that way you can see this live. This is something that is not scripted. I don't have a script. I'm just really just reading off the top of my mind. And I'm actually working. That's why I keep looking off to the side. I'm in the middle of a work day. As you can see, it's still 9:23 a.m. on a Monday, so I still am working. But I'm able to have a remote job as well. So if you're interested in tech as well, go ahead and join my school. I'll be doing a course on how to get into tech as well. Anyways, so given the aggressive timeline and the use of Go High Level as our primary platform, we'll employ the Agile methodology, which is just something that project managers use as a style of how they go about projects, with elements of lean startup and growth hacking. Our focus will be rapid iteration, continuous improvement, and data-driven decision-making. I like that. These are the key considerations that it's doing. These are the weeks and days 1 through 7. So complete Go High Level platform setup and configuration, which I'll probably do in the next video. Define initial service offerings and pricing structure. Create basic marketing materials. So what we'll do is we'll end this video pretty soon, and I will just kind of go over my setup and Go High Level. We'll create a initial service offering and pricing structure, create basic marketing materials, landing pages, sales deck, all that stuff. So we'll go through that live. I don't know how I'll go about it, but we're just trying to just like piece things together so that way you can kind of see. But as you can see, day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are the milestones that we need to hit for week 1. Weeks 2 through 8 are action plans, and it starts just going through the weeks. And we'll start drilling down into each one of these for what we're trying to do. So as we start doing that, we'll document the process. I've already gone through a lot of this stuff. And then I kind of got to the point where I said, let's expand on that thought process. This time I want you to think about what a good dedicated project manager for my business would be and how they would structure an even better game plan to get our goal, and elaborate on your reasoning before writing out this. So I was doing more research, and so there's one thing for it to think about it, and now we want it to elaborate. So when it thinks, it takes it out of that box that it's confined to, and then when you ask it to elaborate, now it's already outside of the box. Now it's getting even more out of the box, because it's like, well, these are the reasons why I would do this thing. And based on that, here's the final best answer. Out of all the possibilities that it can think of, this one that it's providing me is the best one. So as a dedicated project manager for Optimize, I would approach this challenge for a blend of strategic thinking, agile methodology, and deep understanding of the financial tech sector, right? Here's my thought process for creating even better game plan. Let's hyper focus on the target market. Let's leverage networks effects. Value-driven onboarding, modular product development, right? And as you can see, it just keeps going on and on and on. With these considerations, here's an improved 8-week plan, because that's about 60 days. Day 1 to 2, conduct an in-depth market research to identify the most promising segment of retirement planners. Day 3 to 4, 5 and 6, 7, and then we start getting into the weeks as well. So what I meant by expanding, and I'll end it here. Let's identify who or the type of person that would be the most ideal to solve this daily objective. Conduct, and I just literally copy and pasted right here. Conduct in-depth market research to identify the most promising sub-segment of retirement planners, right? Boom, right there, just paste it. Before you provide your final answer, I want you to think through what good qualities would be, to solve these obstacles. My English might not be the best there, but you get the point. What are the good qualities to solve this obstacle? And then elaborate on your reasoning before you write out your final answer. And it did. So these are the things that it said, hey, these are the things that should be included when we're thinking about this. This is the reasoning. And now, given these considerations, this is what the ideal person would look like. They would have all these things right here. This is our ideal client. All right. Now that we have that in mind, best ability, I want you to temporarily act like this person, put yourself in their shoes. How would you conduct in-depth market research? So this is telling us who would be the best person to start the research to figure out what is our ideal client. Now we're like, okay, now that you've identified that person, put yourself in that shoes, and then let's figure out how we can start figuring out the subsegment. And these are the characteristics of that person. So with this in mind, this is kind of research we would do. And I was just like, this is a lot, but overall, is there a backup segment you would likely aim higher for or have a higher success rates? And then it just kind of goes into that. So I'll end the video here because I can just keep going on and on about this. But for the most part, just to wrap everything up, we use Go High Level as our platform to have the websites, funnels, automations, and things like that. It's all in one, very easy to use. You can act like the expert because when someone asks you a question, you can say, I have a 24 to 48 hour turnaround. You go to Go High Level, ask their, get on their live support, say, hey, these are the questions that I have. And now you look like the genius. We use Perplexity and ChatGPT as a mixture of our AIs to get an understanding of our process for it to do all the heavy work and all the heavy lifting. We use Miro to then go ahead and map everything out. So making sure that our process is something that we can just, boom, shoot somebody a PDF or grant them access and add them, use the share button. And now that person can access using a link and go ahead and get started. So that way you don't have to do an entire process where it's like, hey, all right, let me start over from scratch and let me just paint you the picture, tell you my process, and then like bore them to death. They can just see everything all at once. So I hope this video is helpful to you. Hit the like button if it was. Drop a comment down below if there's anything that was you're still having questions on. I do try to read as many of the comments as possible, but for the most part, I'll answer all the questions inside of my school. The comments, depending on how many views this gets, I don't know. I may or may not be able to see it because I have comments from Instagram, TikTok, where I went viral on both of them. I have Facebook posts that I'm responding to, my school. So it's a lot of stuff going on. So if I don't get to your post or your comment in time, don't take it personal. I'm just trying to manage everything and I'm only human. So it's only one of me until I get to that point where I can start hiring everybody else out. But again, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And I'll see you in the next video.